Barbara Corcoran is a well-known businesswoman who is successful to say the least. With a net worth of about $80 million, she is a well-known media figure on NBC, the host of The Millionaire Broker with Barbara Corcoran, a columnist for New York Daily Lives, an author of several bestseller business books, and probably her most well-known role as an investor on the television show Shark Tank. How did Barbara become so successful? Her viewers and fans may know her present-day successes, but how exactly did she get to this point? Well, first off, Barbara Corcoran was born on March 10, 1949, in Edgewater, New Jersey. Her father, a dedicated, hardworking man, and her loving stay-at-home mother raised Barbara and her 9 other siblings in a 2-story home. In high school, Barbara struggled due to her dyslexia and faced the hardships that came with the education system, only judging her intelligence through her ability to read and write.
Education, whole system, judges a child's intelligence simply based on how well they could read or write to certain abilities. I learned how to be a loser. And I couldn't wait to get out of that jailhouse that everybody loved at school. I couldn't wait till the day I got out of it. And so when I grew up, I continued to learn a lot about failure, but frankly, I realized that that was the best calling card for the rest of my life, because nothing was going to feel as bad as that for me ever again.
After she graduated high school, she later attended St. Thomas Aquinas College and earned a degree in education. However, she soon learned that she wanted to achieve something much greater. After working over 20 different odd jobs, including waitressing, she met a man, Ramon Simone, that pointed out her friendly people skills and claimed she would be a great asset to a real estate company. This man soon became her boyfriend, and with a $1,000 loan, they became business partners with the creation of the real estate company called the Corcoran Group. Both Barbara and Ramon worked to sell real estate in New York City to their clients. Later, Ramon had left Barbara for her secretary, but her heartbreak didn't set her back. She continued her hard work and used her innate entrepreneurial skills to raise her business to the top. Barbara is now successful in various aspects, from a business figure on television to a best-selling author. Barbara's greatest investment on the show Shark Tank, she claims, was with 2 male entrepreneurs in 2017 with their product Comfy. Comfy is a hooded sweatshirt combined with a blanket, and on the show, Barbara had invested $50,000 while no other sharks were interested. In only a year and a half, that $50,000 that she invested is now worth $30 million. When first starting her real estate company, the Corcoran Group, in the 70s, she was viewed as being rare. She was a woman in a male-dominated career, yet she didn't view this as oppression or a disadvantage. In fact, she viewed it as quite the opposite. She knew that she was different in the business world and used it to her advantage. Instead of dressing in all-black blazers, as other men had done, she would dress in bright colors in order to stand out even more. Her physical variation with the business world appealed to clients, and she was able to become extraordinarily successful with her real estate company, and thus proving Ramon's statement that she couldn't be successful without his help wrong. Barbara even claimed that females are better than males in the business world because of natural patterns within women. For example, she believes women are better at talking to clients and selling to them simply because they are more empathetic and less concerned with ego, whereas men are more focused on reputation and ego. Barbara is an inspiration for all women, as she shows that women may be different than men in some ways, but that is not an aspect of oppression. It is an aspect of contrasting advantage. She believes that any weakness or insecurities anyone has should be utilized as fuel for success. Barbara is clearly a successful businesswoman, but looking at her childhood and her past, we can see how she has worked for years on end and earned her success and wealth through some instances of failure.
When I was asked to give my first speech to a group of 300 city bankers, I was honored, but as everybody is, scared to death. When I got up there at the podium, even though I had practiced every day for 3.5 months, I memorized it, knew everything about it. I got up there, and as many people, now I learn, I lost my voice. And when the moderator for the second time said thank you and asked me to sit down, I felt such a public shame, I swore I would never speak again. But the following Monday, I realized I had to get over myself, and so I volunteered to teach how to sell real estate, the only subject I knew, at the Learning Annex, which was part of NYU at that time. And I taught for 12 weeks, and as luck would have it, as I always found recovering from a failure, the very first night in class, a short Asian woman walks up to me and she says, "Barbara, you know how much money I make?" I'm like, "What? You know how much money I make?" And it was, "Do you know how much money I make?" And she proceeded to tell me she made $250,000 in 6 months. My best salesperson, I had 7 of them at the time, was making $42,000. She made $250 in 6 months. I had walked in and discovered the Orient Express. The woman who would become the #1 salesperson in all of New York for the next 25 years and be at the head of the whole wave of the Asian population moving into New York. I would have never met Carrie Chiang at that class if I hadn't gotten over myself. I have found that failure and innovation are kissing cousins. You get one, you work on one, you automatically get the other. And I was able to make the Corcoran Group the innovator in my industry because we were so good at failure.
Barbara is a huge role model for anyone, considering her dedication and will to turn failure into success. But specifically, she is a fantastic role model for young women either in business or looking to pursue business. Personally, as a Pennsylvania State University student interested in the Smeal College of Business, I have been looking up to Barbara for years. I first started watching Shark Tank during my early years of high school and have been watching ever since. The show is what got me first interested in majoring in a business-oriented career. However, I recently began to wonder how she had gotten to where she is today. And considering I have been watching Shark Tank for years, there are bound to be viewers and fans that are also unaware of her full success story. After learning about her amazing accomplishments and her strenuous work, I wanted to share her story so those in business can realize you don't need to be wealthy in order to create a successful business or company. Both Barbara's life decisions and her work ethic are noteworthy and very impressive, and she has shaped the world for women in business for years to come.